All right, so today we're diving headfirst into South African rugby.
Sounds intense.
It is. Big news, lots to unpack. We're focusing on Springbok star Ox Nche and his team, the Sharks.
The Sharks, huh? They've been making headlines.
Exactly. Our main source is this recent article, all about Nche's contract extension. But we're going deeper.
Deeper than just the headline.
Way deeper. What does this mean for the Sharks? What other player moves are coming? It's going to be fascinating.
I'm intrigued already. What's the bigger picture here?
That's what we're going to find out. Think global competition, financial pressures, team loyalty, way more than just what happens on the field.
Okay, you've got my attention. So let's start with the man of the hour, Ox Nche. World Rugby Dream Team, Springbok prop, just won the Planet Rugby Reader's Men's Player of the Year award.
Yeah, he's staying with the Sharks, committed until June 2028. Talk about dedication.
That's a big deal. He's a powerhouse, that guy. Strength, scrummaging technique, those are the qualities that win you games.
I bet those wealthy French top 14 clubs were drooling over him.
Oh, absolutely. They were reportedly very interested. Can you imagine? You're at the top of your game, winning awards, and suddenly you've got this chance to play in one of the most competitive leagues in the world.
Not to mention, potentially earning way more money.
Exactly. But remember that quote from Nche back in September? I am comfortable with staying in South Africa.
I remember that. It says a lot about his priorities.
It's not just about the money for him. He's committed to the Sharks, to South African rugby. That loyalty is rare these days.
Especially in today's game, yeah. Sends a strong message to the fans, too. They voted him Player of the Year, and it's not just about his skills.
Right. It's about what he represents. Dedication, passion.
A sense of belonging.
Totally. Strategically, it's a huge win for the Sharks. Keeping a player like Nche is crucial for their ambitions, but there's a twist.
A twist? Don't leave me hanging.
The Sharks, they have a seriously star-studded roster. World Cup winners like Makazole, Mapimpi, Lukhanyo M.
Oh yeah, Sia Khaleesi, Avon Etzebeth. They've got the big names.
All top earners.
Yep.
And that means salary cap pressure.
Ah, right. Even a team as successful as the Sharks has to deal with that.
Every team does. So imagine you're the Sharks management. You've got all this incredible talent, but a limited budget.
Tough choices.
Really tough. Who do you prioritize? Who stays? Who goes?
Okay, so not staying is great, but you're saying this could be the calm before the storm.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like one of those, a giant game of rugby chess, right?
I like that.
You make one move.
And the whole board shifts.
Yeah, so with Knox locked in, who are we looking at next?
Well, two names immediately spring to mind. Makazole, Mapimpi, and Lukhanyo M.
Ah, okay. Both Springbok stars.
Yeah, and both with contracts.
Oh, expiring soon.
At the end of the season. And guess what?
What?
Those French clubs are sniffing around. Big money offers.
You're kidding?
I'm not. They've got deep pockets, those French clubs.
So for those who might not know.
Right. Good point.
Let's give them the rundown.
Yeah.
Mapimpi, he's the winger.
Yeah.
Lightning speed,
Tries galore. He was vital in that World Cup victory.
Oh, and the fans love him.
Oh, yeah. A real crowd favorite. And then you've got Am.
Bam, yeah.
The center, playmaker, incredible vision.
Creates scoring opportunities like it's nothing.
Nothing. And a strong defender, too. A real leader on the field.
Losing either of them would be...
It'd be a blow to the Sharks, no question.
But hold on. Mapimpi. He said he's interested in extending his contract.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He seems to love playing in Durban. Wants to build a legacy there.
So you've got that pull, right? Loyalty, familiar ground, big money.
Build money.
New experiences.
Yeah.
A different style of rugby.
It's a tough choice. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes.
It really is. I mean, it's something every athlete faces, right?
Yeah.
At some point, you have to decide money and prestige or loyalty and belonging.
What would you do?
Honestly, I don't know.
Me neither. And for the Sharks, it's a balancing act, too. Keep their stars, but also think about the future.
Exactly. And they've got some real up-and-coming talent. Terenza Julius, Ethan Hooker, midfielders, potential stars.
But they need game time to develop.
They do. So it's like, if you're the Sharks, what do? Go all out for Mapimpi and...
even if it means...
sacrificing some of that young talent?
Or,
a long-term approach? Building for the future?
It's a tough call. And there's one more twist to this story.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah, it gets even more complex.
Let's hear it.
The Tuthuko Mchunu.
Okay.
Another prop, just like now. But this time...
he's leaving.
Potentially. Might be heading to...
don't tell me.
The Stormers.
Oh, wow. They're rivals.
Rivals indeed. And Mchunu, he's one of the most promising young props in South Africa. Raw talent, strong, eager to
I'm
learn.
getting some good experience playing alongside Nak.
But the Stormers, they see him as the replacement for Stephen Kitchoff. That's a big deal.
Kitchoff, the Springbok star. So for Mchunu,
Yeah.
it could be a great opportunity. More playing time, learning from a legend like Kitchoff.
And a chance to be a starting prop for a top team. Yeah, but for the Sharks,
It's a setback for sure.
especially with Mapimpi and Am's futures uncertain.
It does make you wonder what will happen. This is why roster management is so vital, you know? You can't just collect stars.
It's about
That balance.
of experience, youth,
You've got to plan for the future while also, staying competitive in the present.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, the Rugby World Cup is coming up.
Oh, right.
The Springboks, they'll be looking to defend their title. They need a strong squad, depth in every position.
So how did these club decisions
Yeah,
affect the national team?
it's a great question. The Springboks' success depends on South African rugby as a whole.
Right, so it's beneficial when players are at the top of their game.
Whether they're playing here in South Africa or overseas.
But we could lose too many key players to these foreign leagues.
It could weaken our domestic game.
It's that tension between global and local,
Yeah.
the individual.
And the collective.
It's playing out right now in South African rugby. We see it in other sports too, all the time. Globalization has made everything more competitive, more interconnected. Athletes are weighing their options.
Looking for the best opportunities for themselves, for their families.
But it raises questions about national identity, team loyalty.
And the health of our domestic leagues.
Right. So we've got these potential transfers, contract talks, World Cup dreams, and there's one player whose situation is particularly interesting.
Who's that?
Remember Nsukuko Mchunu?
The young prop, yeah.
His move to the Stormers.
Could have a real impact on the Springboks World Cup chances.
And that's why we need to take a closer look.
So we've talked about the Sharks keeping their team together, but let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
Think about the Springboks, the national team.
Right.
How do these individual choices, these player moves, how do they affect their chances at the World Cup?
This is where it gets really interesting because now we're talking about national pride, World Cup glory, the legacy of South African rugby. And Mchunu, his move, it could really shake things up.
Remind me, why is his move to the Stormers such a big deal for the Springboks?
Okay, so the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah.
It's the biggest stage.
Huge.
Huge pressure, tough competition. You need a squad that's not just talented, but deep, experienced in every position.
Yeah, for sure.
And right now, the Springboks, they've got
Kitchoff, right?
world-class prop, but he's,
Get up there in age.
yeah, his career's winding down.
So they need someone to, step up and fill those shoes.
Exactly. And Mchunu, he's seen as that guy. He's got the size, the strength, the talent, but he needs game time.
Yeah.
He needs to play at the highest level to reach his full potential.
And playing with the Stormers, learning from Kitchoff,
Yeah.
that could be huge for him.
Absolutely. Imagine you're this young prop training alongside one of the best in the world.
Like a
masterclass.
Yes.
Soaking up all that knowledge, that experience.
And that could really benefit the Springboks in the long run.
Yeah. A stronger Mchunu means a stronger national team. It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You've got these individual players making decisions for their own careers, but it affects the whole team, the whole country.
And the Springbok coach, they have to be watching all of this very closely.
Oh, absolutely. They need to see who's performing now, but also who has that potential, who can handle the pressure of the World Cup.
So what are the coach's priorities? I mean, if you were the coach, what would you be thinking about?
Well, talent, obviously.
Yeah.
Form is crucial.
But experience matters too, right? Especially at the World Cup.
Exactly. You need players who've been there, who know how to win on that stage.
And then there's team chemistry, leadership.
Yeah.
It's not just about individual players. It's about the team working together as a unit.
Right. You can't just throw a bunch of stars together and expect them to win. It's like a puzzle.
You got to find the right pieces.
And make them fit.
And then you add in these transfers, these potential moves.
It shakes things up.
It makes it even more challenging.
And that's what makes it so interesting.
It's a high-stakes game for sure.
Yeah.
No easy answers.
Exactly. But that's what we love about sport, right? The drama, the uncertainty. We get to watch it all unfold.
It's a story that's still being written, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Contract talks, transfers, World Cup dreams. It's all happening right now.
The future of South African rugby. What decisions will be made and what impact will they have?
We'll have to wait and see.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah.